Number 4, Board Affairs, Public Relations, Performance Report, Professional Background Information, List of employees and associates, list of professional references, resources, list of present and past clients.
Chairman, good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Good morning to everyone. It's been a good month. Last time I was here, you asked me, gave me some homework. I'm here with that homework. More importantly, more than anything, you asked me about what are the principles, the ideologies, the methodology that we're going to use into bringing awareness, as what we call public relations, to the activities that are happening here in this boardroom, there in that office, and in the community as a whole. So this past month we went back, and first of all we prepared, we listened to Ron, we listened to some of the things that have been going here. We did an extensive research and analysis of all the things that are put out on the media for that. And we came up with a game plan for you, which I'm going to present that to you. The game plan, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bundle up all these items that you have on the agenda all in one presentation. That way we can get through them in a streamlined fashion. But what is going to be very obvious when I present to you is that we believe that there are two outreaches here. One of them is obviously what's happening here, the decisions that you're making, the progressive nature of what you want to go, your ambitions and what you want to do here. And the second thing is the community here that is has some awareness, and you have some growing pains, which are very obvious in your presentations this morning. So it's those kinds of, these two elements of which we believe are the most important ones, and we put a game plan for you for them. I want to present these to you so that I can take back feedback from, because we are anxious to start, we're willing to start. You will also have my recommendations, hear what we should be doing, in the next 30 days. And alongside that, you also asked me for information regarding the company, what we are. I know we're a young company, and I know sometimes these some young companies, we fly somewhat under the radar, but we certainly have the clientele, we certainly have the expertise and the experience, and I'll show that to you here in a bit. I'll leave that to the end. More importantly, I want to show you what we believe is a game plan. But I can't proceed without your input, your thoughts, comments, or ideas what we feel is the next steps for this.
You only got one.
No?
He's probably gonna use that 25%.
To get you one,
Have you got any for the public?
Yikes. I'll tell you what, I can email it to you. I have one more. Okay, title, see the first page, Williston County Navigation District, your marketing plan for Williston County Navigation District, the objectives. 5 strong objectives, create a progressive narrative around the port operations and development. Number 2, educate the public on the progressive growth of the navigation district. 3, build trust with the local community. 4, neutralize misinformation on social media and local podcasts. And 5, build a long-term communication strategy. Most of these are very general. In any government, you're gonna get your cheerleaders, and you're gonna get the folks that are against the activities. And sometimes the information that is happening here gets diluted or gets misinterpreted, and hopefully our firm is here to say, well, this is the real deal, this is exactly what's happening, this is what's going on. Any thoughts or comments on that first page? No? Second page, the branding. So after we came up with the ideologies, we said, okay, how do we commence the branding in here? And we came up with several different ideas of which we all like. And those are listed on the left-hand side column. On the right-hand side, I included mission statements for each one of these branding ideas. That doesn't mean we're gonna pick one, but it means that we can work with these ideas, with these themes, and it doesn't have to be all in one shot, but we can develop and manifest a the idea that goes behind each one of these branding principles. The first one is general community and progress themes, and that has 5 subsections: Port Mansfield Forward, Stronger Together, Port Mansfield Rising, Progress of Port Mansfield United. Again, these are branding ideas that we can transform into the narratives that we're going to provide. And what I mean by narratives is the content that we're going to be putting together for you through your media outreach, and I'll get to that here in a bit. I'll give you an example of the first mission statement. Port Mansfield's Forward is dedicated to fostering unity, progress, innovation in our community. Through collaboration, local engagement, and strategic growth, we aim to create a thriving future for residents. And those are the taglines we use for media outreach. Now, all these, anything on this page doesn't have to be agreed upon today. What I'm here to tell you is that we have an idea of how to do it, but I can't do this without you, your overall ideology, or your overall thoughts about what we should pick first or what we shouldn't pick first. You are the ones leading this community. You are the board that is leading the community. You're the board that's leading the governance of this thing, and so I truly welcome your thoughts, comments, and ideas, especially on this page. Again, it doesn't have to be now. I'm going to provide you with information for how you can reach me, or you can ask me to come back next month, and I'll be glad to listen to what you have to say. Any thoughts, comments, or ideas on this page? Next page. We created messaging pillars. 4 of those: economic impact and job creation. 2, environmental responsibility, and that's very important because I think at first I questioned this, but some of the people that we talked to said, well, the port is still a recreational area. It's an area where people want to go out and visit, and people want to go out and do their fishing. We got to make sure that we keep it clean. We got to make sure that we're environmentally friendly. People nowadays, they see that it's not environmentally friendly, or it's not using any kind of logic with being that, and they think it's too dirty port, or they think it's something that you may not want to see. It's not aesthetically clean, or it's not aesthetically pleasing. I heard a while ago something about some junk that got stationed somewhere. Well, it's those kinds of things that we want to bring to the attention of using our media outreach. Community benefit and transparency show how the district supports local services, heritage, and safety. These are the pillars. These are using the branding that we're going to be using. These are the foundation of those ideas. Any questions on this? Phase 1, the first 30 to 60 days is what we want to do. Item number 1, internal alignment. Designate a spokesperson for here. We've talked to Ron about this. I said Ron has to, since he's the director, there needs to be a voice here, and since he's here 24/7 or the majority of the day, there needs to be somebody in that capacity to handle that. Train staff on unified talking points and brief all port commissioners on all the activities that are happening. That anything that comes in our airspace, in what we receive, I want the board to understand that we just picked this up. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. Ron met with this. Ron met with that. There's things that the staff is doing. If we know about it, you're going to be knowing about it. Narrative reset. Draft and publish a State of the Port open letter on the website. I like to do that once a month. Release a short video message. I would also like to do that, and that's part of the entire package. Launch a hashtag PortFacts Texas to centralize accurate information online. The third thing is a rapid response. Set up a monitoring system for social media podcasts using free and low cost tools. And this is extremely important with with AI now playing a big role in some of the media outreach. It's real easy for AI, for the computer to pick up some of the language that is being driven into a website or being driven into our social media pages, and direct it to where it needs to be directed, or answer it. We do not want voices to go unheard. Any questions on this one? Phase 2, after that, the 60 to 90 days. Own media push. And what does that mean? Own media push is actively distributing content to audiences using the channels the brand directly owned and control. the media that we're gonna be controlling, our social media, our webpage, we have to use those things in order to have the special public, the information that needs to be out there. Post weekly updates to the Port's social media. Launch Port Stories campaign. And this is all done through the social media or the website that we're going to, I'm gonna be talking about here in a bit. Local media relations. We also use the folks that are out here in the Willacy County and in the other Freedom newspapers that are out there, asking about stories, asking about what's going on. Well, we need to be active on that. Host a press roundtable with trusted reporters. These are just ideas that we want to initiate, we want to introduce. Pitch editorial stories to local outlets. Let's see if they want to print out some of the things that are happening here. Secure monthly column or radio segment with a friendly outlet. I think that would be extremely beneficial if we secure a podcast or we secure some kind of outlet so we can do a monthly segment on this thing. Community forums and listening sessions, organize town halls or coffee chats. I already know that town halls are a big issue here. And I think there's a way that we could do those in a way that is extremely fruitful and extremely showcases some of the concerns, some of the challenges, and some of the direction that the board is taking. Any comments or ideas on the 60 to 90 minutes? And these are the Line X page is the long term, phase 3. And that will be ongoing, that will be after we get these type of foundation processes going. Number 1, the podcast Counter Turbulence, launch a short-term podcast or video service. Doesn't have to be these big podcasts, but if we can get on the computer and put it on the website, some of these things that we're talking about. If we have an interview, we have some folks from the community, or we have some folks in government, in the local governments that want to talk about a little bit about the recreation or talk about the governance or the grants or anything that is happening. I'd like to have that voiced and open. Community partnerships, any type of partnership that we're creating here with either the schools or some of the environmental folks, I'd like to also publish those or make those known. Metrics and optimization, track, sentiment analysis, website traffic, event attendance, and media pickup and podcast mission. That's just a fancy way of saying I'm going to keep track of everything that is happening, put it in such a metric and such a graph that I can understand it, what is more important than the others, what is happening, which are the highlights and which are the boring issues and which are the ones that are attracting more attention. That doesn't mean we're going to focus on one. That means we also need to get the one that's least attracted on steroids, or give it a little bit of lift, or give it a little bit of push, give it more attention or more focus on it. Any questions on the phase 3?
I just want to make a comment on number 2, community partnership. I really want to see us get more involved with the local schools, the local Willacy County schools. Years back, 20 years ago, I started taking kids from La Sara and Raymondville fishing. And we would take, and they thought I was crazy because I would take 300 kids fishing. We need to find a way to promote that, get those relationships going. So I really want to stress number 2 as a very important part of it, because, you know, Willacy County is not Port Mansfield, it's a navigation district that stretches all the way to La Sara, and we have a lot of taxpayers in that area. And if we can service those kids, those families, it's a win-win for everyone.
I agree, sir. Thank you, sir. Any other comments for this page? I'm going to the next one. The next 2 pages are just some of the media platforms that we're going to be focusing, we're going to be starting on, and I'll get to those here in a little bit. So in order for us to do everything that I just mentioned, we need that platform, the vehicle, the something on wheels to get it going, and that vehicle, more importantly, more than anything, is the website. We can use social media like Facebook and Instagram, and we are planning to use those, but no matter how much you input or content you create in those platforms, there's still a home place that you may want to go back and say, okay, I want to know more of that. Okay, somebody's commenting on this, or somebody's saying this, or there's this thing that the port put out on Instagram for this. I want to know more. Where do we go for that? And so And that's the website. Now, the website was an interesting, was a very interesting endeavor this whole month because you already have a relationship, a very good relationship with NPC Studios, and we introduced ourselves to them and wanting to get some of the information that we needed in order to put a game plan for them, because we are going to use that website and that platform, but we're going to add some more things to it. It lacks a little bit of more elements that we need in order to get these ideas that I just went over to them, over with you. And I want to add more pages to it, and in order to address some of these things. So I looked over your contractual agreement with MPC, dated back for 2014. And we dissected it and we looked it over. We said, okay, what is it that we can do? What is it that we can take advantage of? Because we already have a relationship, and a very good relationship, and I want to keep some of those elements intact. You're already paying a fee for a service on that website. I want to take advantage of that and use that. Now, mind you, imagine them being let me use this metaphor so you can understand how this works. The MPC company manages your website. That's like having a bank take care of your money. What you do with your money is totally up to you, how you spend it and how you invest it. That's where we come in. So knowing that there's two ways of doing this thing, either one of those two ways, it'll get you the same result. Either we do it or they do it. You're already paying them to do it, and I think you have a good relationship with them. So we can ask them to do it. But that's totally up to the board. You want me to do it, I'll be glad to do it. But I'm telling you at this moment, we're going to be adding some more pages, and we're going to be adding the content. We're going to be, like I said, spending this money and cultivating the money and making it worth your while. So the first thing we asked was, does the client own this website, or is this a managed site? Is this who maintains the rights to the content? And your answer is there. And basically, and what that page is saying is that you own the content. They just manage the maintenance of the website. Like I said, it's like a bank. They just hold it for you. They'll fix it if you have a problem. They'll fix it, or they'll add some maintenance to it. Again, we could also do that. It's all included in our fee. Does the client own the domain? Whose account holds the domain? Port Mansfield owns the domain. You guys own the domain. For convenience and technical reliability, the domain is currently managed through the NPC Studios, register account, client's name. Again, it's just a lot of the same thing that I just explained. They manage it, they control it. You're already paying them for that. Aside from the website management support, please specify what else is included in this package and if those services are added value, specifically cost in the plan. Again, these are questions that we felt are important enough for us to dive in and get involved in using that website as a vehicle where we want to translate these ideologies. And there is a bullet point of some of the technical or the performance responsibilities and duties that they have for you or with you. Any questions?
So you're saying that MPC manages our website right now?
Yes, they do. And they also, more than anything, they maintain it. They maintain it. But like I said, they manage it. They don't put the content in there. They don't do any of these other things. It's like they're just holding your money. It's like, consider it like the metaphor that I used. It's just a bank account where you put your money in.
So with that said, then I think we need that entity, that person that gives them the content to put in there.
That's where we come in.
Yeah. I think that's what we were lacking.
The community outreach, the Facebook, the Instagram, all the other LinkedIn, they don't do any of that. They manage it for you. They'll fix it for you. If it's broken, they'll take care of it for you. Whether they can do it, I'm sure they can. But that's a whole other story. That's a whole other contract that you may want to consider talking to them about.
And I know this time you've been working, busy, trying to lay the foundation to move forward with the plan.
Absolutely, yeah. I wanted to come here so you can understand where this is going. This is not just adding a couple of events to your website. This is not adding some things to your Facebook or for Instagram. This is telling a narrative and discussing healthy, progressive dialogue, challenges, burdens, concerns, those sort of things. I think those sort of things they need to be highlighted or showcased in such a manner that the governance of this board can address it and can do something about it.
So this, opening,
Any question?
you had a cost associated, I guess, with maintaining this?
You're already paying that to NPC.
Yes, but I guess why is it included in here? Is this something that if we elect to do so would be an additional charge or?
I'm sorry, the question is what?
Something about $725?
Yeah, it's on that page, let me see, go.
I think that's how much we're already paying for that service.
Oh.
Yeah, you're already paying for that.
We're
Yeah.
already
Okay.
paying that, yeah.
Yeah, you're already paying for
I
it.
was
And it's
thinking-
a good website. It's
Yeah.
really a good website. And you understand, a long time ago when the website thing started, sometime way back in the early 2010s and so forth, it was hard to build a website. It was, you had to go to school and you had to go out this training. NBC was one of the leading companies that was out there doing this thing, and they did it very well. It was tough to do this sort of thing. Schooling, I guess, was limited at the time, but you know, this website building there's so many companies, there's so many applications now doing that website. There's a couple of them that are the hallmarks of doing something in the category that you want. But you still have to put content in it. You still need to bring the information and put it in there. It's one thing to build it, that's fine, that's okay. But it doesn't mean it has gas and a motor and it goes. It's just there. So that's what they did for you. That's what they maintained for you. And again, these folks have been doing it for a very, very long time, and they do it very well.
We just need to customize it to
That
our
is correct.
specific needs.
That is correct. You need to give it a direction, and you need to take it to places where you think it makes more benefit for this board.
I do believe that metaphor that you used hit it right on the head, the metaphor of
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
put money in the
I
bank.
hope so, you're gonna, because, you know, a lot of this technical stuff, it's a bit nerdy, but, and I'm sorry if I disrespect anybody, but it is technical and it seems like it's calculus or algebra, but there is a method to that matter. There is simple math to this sort of thing now, but I'm hoping that I can translate that well for you guys. Next page is the direction and the recommendation. This is what we recommend after reading all this, after listening to you, after hearing what you want to say. That showcase the need to present our vision for the website and the purpose behind the new section. I just did that with you. It's not simply adding articles to the existing website. That's not what we're here for. We're here to create a different perspective for the board and the community. Restructuring and add new purpose to the site, we're gonna do that. We're gonna add 4 new pages to that website. Once agreed on the new format and new home, our team will then build a scope of work for the site. The board can decide if they want the MPC team or for us to build it. Again, we have no preference over it. We can build it, they can build it. It's not difficult. You're already paying them for maintaining it. They can do that. We love to work with them alongside for this thing. And for next month, I want to start our social media pages. I want to create a Facebook and an Instagram page right off the bat. I want to start doing that. Once you give me the blessing for everything that I've discussed here with you, I'm hoping that we have a timeline for that. I think it's a good idea. I think these are good principles. I think these are good ideologies. I welcome any comments, thoughts, or ideas. Not at this very moment. You can call me, or you can reach out to me, or I can come over here and meet with you. And we can explore other sentiments or other directions that you may want to include as well. But this is what we feel is a neutral, a progressive, and a valuable direction for what you want to present to the community, to the other governments, to in whole, to anybody who's interested in Port Mansfield. I'd like to assign it someone on the team for a primary administrator. And that's something pretending that we start these Facebook and this Instagram. Ron here is very busy, and the staff here is very busy. We'd like to have our team to be the administrator. That way we can switch it on a drop of a dime, or change direction if something is out of place, something is wrong, or something we need to add some more content to it. I don't want to waste time on that. I want to be able to do that quick. And that's the end of that presentation. The next page is, again, some of the homework that you asked me to do. And again, I don't blame you for it, but companies kind of do. I gave you a list of the city's past and present clientele. Most of these are current, but most of these, they have us under contract. When they need something, they call us in. If you see that, I can go through each and every one of them. For references, most of the mayors and the city managers for these places are willing to share with you our performance, our expertise, that sort of thing. I didn't include them here, but if you want for a specific city, I didn't want to put their cell numbers. I'll give you their cell numbers and their email addresses if you want to talk to any of these folks. But the mayors and the city managers are the best point of contact for any of these cities. I work with them closely. And the next page is the immediate staff that you're going to be dealing with. If you see them here with me, these are them. Diego Sainz, he's a project engineer. He's a civil engineer graduate from UTRGV. Jessica Campos, Cornell grad. She's doing project management right now in Colorado. Ramiro Garcia, he's an English guy. He's English rhetoric graduate from UTRGV as well. Emmett Wells, former veteran, Afghanistan. He's the tech guru and all this. Aaron Trevino happens to be, he's also a...
No relation for the record.
Aaron Trevino is actually a county commissioner from Brooks County, and he's joined the team. Myself, and I only have two associates in my company. One of them is Dr. Carlos Marin. He is not a medical doctor. He is a civil engineer doctor from Harvard University. He's my partner, and the other one is Steve Guerra. That may sound familiar. He is the chairman of the board for Port of Mansfield. And those are the only partners I have, the only associates I have. I work with them very closely on all sorts of things, mostly economic development, public relations, and grant writing, getting money down here to South Texas. And I'll be glad to share with you those cell numbers for them if you guys want to reach out to them. And that's it. Like I said, I don't need your comments now. I would appreciate them, but if you want to talk to me on a separate note, we're moving forward on securing a Facebook and Instagram. We're going to start with that, but I do want to start working with NPC and restructuring your website. And that's it.
Thank you.